Hi guys, Brand here, and welcome to another commentary video. If I sound a little weird today, if I sound not as blah 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 blah, a little grovelly, it's been, the holidays just passed by, so there's been a lot going on, and it's kind of been going on, been pretty busy. I haven't had time to record like I usually do, which is why the background here is the actual like background and not the winter background, but it actually kind of works out because it makes it look more present, whereas like usually this would be uploaded with the winter background and be like, well, clearly that's gone, so you recorded this a long time ago. So maybe it worked out. But anyways, if I sound a little groggy, that's why. But you're not here to listen to me. You're here to listen to me talk about DBD stuff. You don't care about what's going on in my life. You want to hear about DBD things, complain about DBD things. That's what we're going to talk about today. And today's target of complaint and whining, which is, on par with the Dead by Daylight community in its entirety in terms of complaining and whining. Today we're going to be talking about killer build requests and how they appear on DBD streams and how I kind of find them very, very strange, especially with like people's intentions with them and how they kind of don't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So first off, of course, I am a Dead by Daylight Twitch streamer that takes killer build requests. It's not even necessarily really just only killer build requests. I see this with survivor requests as well, but obviously survivors have a little bit less in the way of like build expression compared to killers do, because killers have different base kits. So you see survivor build requests. Am I okay? Don't answer that. Survivor build requests way more than you see, are way less than you see killer build requests. Obviously, as a DBD Twitch streamer myself at twitch.tv/emrheadache, where I stream every day except Thursday and Sunday. Please come by. I have seen this on my own streams because I have that redemption, but I've also seen a lot of big Twitch streamer streams where they take build requests maybe as a channel point redemption. They take build requests like all day for like a special event or something, but it's something that's fairly common in the DVD community. But I've always found them to be either whether they're happening to me or I'm watching another streamer do a killer build request. Usually these are not uniquely positive experiences. They kind of usually don't go the best, and that's for a multitude of reasons that we're about to get into. But I've just always found it interesting that killer build requests are a thing and that so many streamers do them. But by and large, when I look at them and I notice them and how they actually play out, the streamer's usually pretty not having the best time usually when they're going through it, whether that be being critical of the build while playing it. I'm very guilty of that one, or the build itself just being outright god awful and terrible, and the streamer trying their hardest to make any sort of effort to either win or actually get value out of this very, very strange build. There's just like a whole lot of issues that go into that, but by and large I've noticed that usually when a killer build request goes through, it's not really particularly a positive time for the streamer, for the reasons that I just went into. And I kind of want to level your guys' ideas of like, what is the mindset behind like killer build requests and why they usually go so poorly. I think, like I pointed out, I feel like one of the things I most commonly see is that killer build requests are often terrible, right? Perfect example, I get a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but when I get killer build requests semi-frequently. Obviously I main Xenomorph. No, I'm not top 4 anymore, I'm top 5. Cynthian, who also streams on Twitch, actually grinded out enough tail attacks to pass me, so go give them some love if you like Xenomorph stuff. Xenomorph obviously being my main killer that I love and appreciate a lot and love playing. A lot of people like to suggest stealth builds on Xenomorph, whether it be like stuff with monitors, stuff with undetectable like Trail of Torment. And I feel like on my streams and also on, like I've mentioned in like YouTube content, is that stealth doesn't really work on this character very well or consistently. And if you don't know why, it's because the turrets, the little flame turrets that you can put up to counterplay the Xenomorph, they have a motion tracker in them. And that motion tracker tracks the Xenomorph for 41 meters. And it beeps, starting with a slow beep if you're far away, and just gets progressively faster. And when they're right on top of you, they can, the beep is going super fast. So essentially, the survivors, as long as they set up a turret, can track you almost exactly, regardless of your undetectable status or your shortened Terrius. And yes, this does include the tunnels as well. Somebody asked me that on stream the other day. Yes, it does include the tunnels as well. So, by and large, besides just like rare value, Xenomorph isn't really, despite how the base kit was initially set up, not really that much of a stealth killer. If anything, you get diminishing returns more than most killers in the game when it comes to undetectable and shortened Terrius perks because of the motion tracker that's built into the turrets. However, people seemingly like to continue over and over to recommend to me to try and make me try stealth builds on the Xenomorph, and I just kind of like don't get why. This isn't something that's unique to me just with this exact situation, but it's something I see, like I said, a lot of other DBD streams, is that people will just recommend very, very awful builds or builds that just kind of like don't make any sense. Like one I saw on one stream, and I forget which one it was, but somebody suggested an anti-healing build on Plague. If you don't know, Plague breaks the survivors, and the only way you can undo that is by cleansing, which has nothing to do with healing. Somebody recommended an anti-healing build on Plague. And like, it was just really painfully awkward to see the streamer, like, you know, running through this build request. They were trying to be nice the whole time and like kind of going, oh, well, this build doesn't really have the most synergy with Plague's base kit. Like they were trying to be nice about it, but they were like clearly pointing out how like dumb of a build idea was. But like, I don't know, like it didn't seem like the person that was recommending it was trolling. And I think that's a big thing, is because that's probably something that's, you know, somebody's probably already typed down in the comments, is like, well, a lot of people like to just recommend troll builds and kind of like mask it as like, you know, I really want you to try this, which is why I've said for my own rules with my own personal build requests that like, hey, no troll builds. If I even get a sniff, I get a hint that you're trying to give me a build that's intentionally bad on purpose, I'm not doing it. Because like, hey, my happiness goes above your ability to want something. Like even if you do, because I either do channel point redemption for build requests, or I do like 2 gift subs or any numeric equivalent of that. I don't care if you gave me money. Like I'm not making myself miserable, please. Like this person seemed pretty legit that they're like, oh, I use this and I get results. You know, like they thought they had come up, they thought they had struck gold. So like, are they aware that the build is bad and they're just trying to see like, because the streamer has more hours than me, this streamer plays the game more than me, can they make this work? Or are they like legitimately like that like tuned out of Dead by Daylight that they don't understand like something like an anti-healing build on Plague just like makes 0 sense? Like I don't like, is there a collective idea here behind build requests and like why they typically seem so like just so bad? Like I'm trying to find like a nicer way to put it, but it's like why are build requests so terrible whenever I see them, whether it be given to me or to others? Like I really don't get it. I really don't get it. So I don't know, I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys and wanted to see what you guys thought, because like honestly, like there's a lot of build requests that I see that like there's like a gimmick there that makes sense, even if the build is like not the greatest. Like I feel like a perfect example of this is like the backpack builds, where you do like Agi, Mad Grit, or Starstruck, or Awaken Awareness. Like those make sense. Obviously that's a very, very inefficient build, but it's funny, right? Like, there's like a gimmick you're trying to get through. I've also seen like Dark Devotion builds. Dark Devotion isn't the best perk in the game, but you know, you're trying to go for some sort of like funny hit and run, hit the obsession, then show up somewhere else while there's a Terrius running around the map, which is very funny, especially if it's like Wesker and he's got the big Terrius. But like that I can kind of see. It's like, well, at least you're trying to get some funny gimmick going. But when people just like outright request like really, really bad builds, it's just really, really confusing to me. And I would even argue that some certain gimmick builds, like what do you really, really want out of that? Like some people request like the backpack build I just mentioned on like really bad characters, like bottom 5 characters in the game. Like, oh, well, backpack build on Freddy. And it's like, how do you think that's going to go? Like, how do you think that's realistically going to pan out if you try to use a backpack build on Freddy? Like, you're not going to win. And you're just kind of like forcing the streamer to play a match that they just predeterminedly know they're going to lose and have a miserable time in. I just don't get it. I don't get why people do that. I don't get what like the game plan is with that. I don't understand. So if you guys help me shed some light on this, some clarity about this, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, I'm got bad RNG in life and I'm just only tuned into bad killer build requests. But let me know what you guys think. But other than that, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. But I will see you in tomorrow's video. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.